Awesome. Thank you for that. Welcome, everybody, to Fawks Talks. I haven't said this in a while. The flagship show, the only show on the Fable 42 network, devoted to all the other shows on the Fable 42 network, where we build community through friendship, gaming, and chaos. I am, of course, your host, Ronan Fox. With me, as always, the voice in the void, Miss Taryn Hackett. Say hello, Taryn.
Well, howdy. Ronan don't have words today, y'all.
I don't. The beard's gone, and so is my vocabulary. We also have, I think, is the mod here? Is Cody here? I don't know. If you're here, type hello, Cody.
If not, I don't blame you.
If you're in danger, blink twice.
And, of course, we have the boss, Mr. Chris Solo. Say hello, Chris.
Hello, hello.
But as we all know, it's really all about me. It's called Fawks Talks, after all. So let's hit up those sponsors and pay for this and dive in. Okay, so sponsors we got first up is Critical Dice. This is like the first week of Fawks Talks that I haven't got a new set of dice from them. But if you go to their website and you enter in Fable 42, you can get 20% off a non-subscription based item. They have tons of cool things. And then second sponsor is Griffin Co. I have Erik on the show, but he's not here to do the voice.
I'm so sad.
The one time I have him.
There
There you go. That's
It's
good.
almost as good.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Stop it. Thank you for trying.
Yeah. And if you go to their website and you enter in Fable 42, you will have 22% off an item. And I was going to ask before the show started, and it completely slipped my mind, is Tailspire a sponsor for Realms exclusively?
Kind of.
Okay. Well, check out Realms on Wednesdays for an additional sponsor of Tailspire, where they have badass maps. So that's cool. I think that's it. Is that it? That's all the sponsors we got. Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes.
I keep track of those things for sure.
Yeah, as you know, it's clearly the most professional show on the network. So anyway, that's out of the way. So I still have no idea what I'm doing. You have nothing better to do, so let's start some Fawks Talks.
Lame.
Oh, that's where you want the intro, right?
Oh, Jesus
Oh, is that
Christ.
what you want?
He didn't say hit me with the intro.
He didn't.
Oh yeah, roll
You didn't
the
use your
intro.
stupid tagline. Is it actually
back
up
already?
or?
What's up mean? Is up mean back?
Up
Or
means
up
it's
mean
done and you're live.
Oh, welcome back, everybody.
We have clear signals on this show and know exactly when transitions have occurred.
But no, that's kind of the shtick. I actually enjoy the casual fuckery of everything. So Ronan, how are you today?
I'm good. Good. It's gonna be a show. It's gonna be a show. All right. Well, welcome back from that intro. How's everyone in chat doing? I can see a couple of people. I can actually see chat now. By the way, I meant to tell people my computer monitor is set up with the camera such that I can look at chat. So if you want to shout something at me, do it, I guess. So anyway.
Anyways, let's see what the Fox is happening in the world of tabletop.
There you go. Yeah, somebody's got the script. So let's do that.
I just want to steal your line.
Thank you. I hate you.
I think Taryn's new name is Sherbert, though. I think that's what we're going to call her.
That's true.
I'm dyeing my hair back.
I'm going to put her on camera later on in this episode just so you guys can see her hair.
Fuck off.
And we can all relish in her misery. Okay, so let's see what is going on. Damn it, you stole my line. Okay, so big news for Vault 42 fans out there. Modifius is releasing an official tabletop version of the Fallout universe. So now our own Vaulters. They've been playing an adaptation of 5e, and I'm not sure what the differences are exactly. But if this version doesn't have a way for you to find long dead corpses of famous fablers, then it is clearly inferior, like Taryn and Erik, actually. But Taryn has told me that anybody that does get the game, she will gladly record some Hickish accent for you.
That's actually true. I will totally do that. It comes naturally.
That's true. Just
Hey, yuck.
Yuck.
Howdy, y'all.
Golly gee, howdy. Thank you.
Well, that's a little offensive with what kind of accent you're doing there, but, do what you want.
It's not offensive. That's my natural accent.
That's true. I can turn. I have I don't really. I get a lot when I used to play online games. People used to think I was from Texas, so I guess the accent's fairly similar.
That's offensive.
We have more teeth here, but yes.
It's true, and bigger hats.
And an actual family tree, not a family line.
I wish I could say something.
That's a mountain thing. That's not out here in the plains.
Welcome to Appalachia. Whatever.
Speaking
April
of,
said it's a 2D20 system, which is similar to that Cthulhu game I mentioned.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's another one of the. So Modifius, they use a lot of that 2D20 system for their different games in different ways, and it's pretty interesting actually.
I'll be honest, I'm an idiot. I don't have any idea what that means. What is it?
It is so you roll 2D20s to determine whether or not you succeed or fail on a task. Yeah.
That's a solid name for that type of system.
Isn't it crazy? It's almost like it's in the name.
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, it does look cool. I did check it out. Website has everything that you need to play. All you'll need to do is perform a quick Google Maps of Texas, and if you can't do that, just picture Florida with more oil and cowboy hats.
And you will get to check it out, or at least watch it during FableCon, as there will be a one-shot led, of course, by our beautiful overseer running this game. So
yeah, so that's on April 18th. I think I saw the promo. I think that's right. April, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's April 18th. But if you want to check out this system beforehand, you can go to their website, pre-order the contents now, as long as you can convert pounds, whatever the fuck those are.
Really?
Money's heavier over there or something. Speaking of heavy, WizKids announced that this September they'll be releasing the largest Tiamat figure, the biggest mini. According to the IGN article, the thing will be 15 inches tall, 30 inches wide. Never mind. Yeah, it's April 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific.
It's also $400.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I was going to say. So the thing is, like, that's like a entire Fable 42 charity stream.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is Riha is bigger, and you can order her from Griffin Co. for like $100 or $150.
Really?
Do we need to whip out the ruler, boys? Can we?
I mean, it's whipped out. The Riha Mini that Griffin Co. printed is 18.5 inches tall.
Oh my!
So yeah, okay, so it's got like 3 inches. Did Erik hear? Was Erik on there?
Yeah, briefly.
Awesome. Yes, good. You missed. I did Griffin Co. and I totally just paused. I need a Griffin Co. real fast since everybody can hear you.
Griffin Co.
Okay, never mind. I take it back. So that was way better than yours.
Of course it was. I said it was better than mine.
I mean, I tried to be nice.
To me. You were like,
no, I was being kind.
When are you
that
kind?
was.
You're never kind.
Way better.
Look, you're about to throw up right now.
Yeah, it hurt. There's a part of me dying.
Anyway, just to say, it is big. The Tiamat figure is big. It does look huge. I didn't know Rehal was bigger. But it looks cool, I guess.
No, it looks really awesome though.
Yeah, it's a really solid mini. I put in here that it is a beautiful mini, fully encapsulating the evil wretchedness that is Terran's spirit animal. Yeah.
It's actually beautifully painted too, because I was a little worried about that. Because like
the
older Tiamat minis weren't painted that great.
No, well, most of the old minis were not. The WizKids, I will say, in the last couple renditions have really stepped up their paint job. So like, I mean, if you're looking for pre-painted things, it's
the paint job for D&D products is better than the paint job for the Pathfinder products.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Both from WizKids, both new products that just have a better commission.
I haven't done the mini thing. I've painted a couple, but I've never actually got into them. I don't have a giant shelf full of them, that's for sure. I guess that was pretty much it for D&D stuff. Slow week, quiet as the dead. Speaking of the dead, holy shit, Adventures in Middle Earth. Okay, so
it's too soon, man.
Too soon.
Listen, okay, so full disclosure. Okay, I got a lot of shows to watch, and so I got to be a bit picky on the ones that I do watch. So this week's aim was actually one of the first that I had actually watched in its entirety, and fuck, what an episode to start watching on. So you know it's going to be good when like you're not even 2 minutes in and Lindsay is like begging the chat for healing potions. And it turns out that they were in some type of like hellish dungeon. And you know that like old adage that God won't give you more than you can handle. Well, DM Chris Sizemore says, "Fuck that! He'll give you twice as much and then some." But the group really didn't help themselves out. They basically at the very beginning split the party up, and they lost all sense of direction. This is what happens when you only have one female player, by the way. And this, of course, led to a tragic ending, as one of them was not able to make it inside the hole, which is basically the summation of my entire college career. So, yeah, it was bad. So she's dead. It's a she, right? He plays a she character.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's what I thought. Solo. So, are God? What's it? Logan's character?
Hada.
Hada. Yeah, that's it. I knew it started with an H.
Good job.
And
One Hada.
Turin.
Don't Hada. Yeah. Were they an item or together?
They
or
were
something?
off screen. They were more of an item than on screen. So on screen, they alluded to it, that there was a relationship, and they kept being very descriptive with like the ways they looked at each other, or the ways that things that they did to one another, but they were definitely an item. Turin is going to burn the world down.
Yeah, it was like implied, and enough that like watching the last 10 minutes of AIM was like painful.
Well, that's what I wanted to
AF.
know, because it was crazy emotional for somebody that hasn't been watching on a consistent basis. So I wanted to know, like, was that kind of like a surprise thing, or was that kind of like a just sort of closure thing?
The following words are spoilers, which you already know.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah,
yeah, I should have said that to the
This show is a spoiler.
We knew that Logan was leaving the show because he's a substitute teacher and he got an actual teaching position, so his life is a lot more busy and whatever. So like Middle Earth just doesn't fit into that, which is fine. We didn't know how, so people can like Bree left the show without being murdered. So we didn't, automatically assume that there was going to be this crazy scenario, which was kind of against us because, this is technically our third session in this dungeon. We just barely killed a cave troll, and I took like 7 shadow points so I could murder it with the poison thing. So like I couldn't keep doing that, and I ended up still using it later, and I still went over the edge. So I'm in my 3rd tier of shadow corruption chaos.
Sure.
So, yeah, like
if you get to the 4th tier, do you grow a hand?
Or a tentacle?
I'm growing a finger right now.
Which character?
He already has another arm.
Oh yeah.
And he's waiting for you to make it better.
Oh yeah.
So it was an interesting thing to watch that, and like, and it's the beautiful thing when you watch Middle Earth, because it's not really called AIM anymore, but it is Middle Earth. But it's nice to watch that, because Tristan knew that he had to leave, but he was so playing to character, just literally as much as he could, just to that point where it was like, we gotta go, and then it took Logan just booting him into the hole, or kissing him and then kicking him, I think is what it was.
Yeah. It was intense. God, I mean the whole thing, like when you showed like all the different things that were, bounding towards you guys. It was stressful as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Middle Earth, ladies and gentlemen.
We need to blame Sizemore.
Yes.
Cup.
But somehow, yeah.
No, it's still Solo's fault somehow.
Yeah. Somehow.
Well, you can get a blame Chris mug, and it can cover a couple bases.
That's true. Yeah, just a hashtag blame Chris. Okay. Well, speaking of shitty times, Legends of Shawgal, everyone.
I am holding my middle finger up at Ronan right now.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? You got nothing to blame but yourself.
No.
So
Oh,
just
yeah,
just
it
a
wasn't
quick,
my fault.
It's
Quick-
true.
Shit. Never mind. Wait. Yeah. I totally fucked that one up. Go ahead.
a quick recap before the recap. A bunch of shitheads made a shitty plan, led them to a shitty orphanage and down a shithole where they fought a shit monster. And if you thought that was a lot of references, you should watch the episode. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. It was an action-packed episode. It started with Jinx getting sucked into the aforementioned poo monster, making her the smelliest pussy ever.
I hate you so fucking much. Ari's gonna
I
fucking
applaud
kill
you,
Cookie.
sir. I applaud you.
Because she's a cat, you know. That's what
Yeah,
I
I
meant.
got you. No, I was internally vomiting the whole time. So I hope bad things. I'm happy I took your fucking hand and I.
This is just my way of spreading the salt back around. Anyway, anyone ever noticed though that she does have an affinity for getting stuck in things? So poo monsters, ice jails, mages, fists, all that sort of stuff.
That's not
Gross.
stuck in.
Let's hope not. Anyway, she would eventually make it out of the monster. But you know who didn't help? Oscar. He was turned into scrap. Like he just ran into ash or something. And so ends Oscar 2.0. It's a good thing this group isn't in charge of anything important like the ancient ruins of creation or anything. Idiots.
I'm smiling.
Anyways,
Because
these
I am.
teenage mutant ninja nerds return from the sewer covered in crap and victory. And somehow the orphanage, who were previously being eaten, are now more traumatized than before. So good job, Magoos.
Thumbs up.
What was that other Magoo name? Were we like, we added another Magoo name to it, like the Smelly
Did you?
Magoos or something. I can't remember.
Smelly Magoos.
Take that away. It's too soon.
Yeah. Crap covered Magoos.
I hate you.
Covered in nuts and corn.
Disgusting.
Okay, there's that
I
other
like
show.
how Frizz was like, "Oh no, we used prestidigitation and we're all good." I'm like, "Nah, it's gonna take more than a single spell to get all that crap
A
out."
cantrip is not going to cut it.
Yeah, no, Jinx is gonna be like forever unclean for a while.
It's in all the crevices.
Does she clean herself like a normal cat?
No, because she's a shifter.
Oh, right.
Somebody else asked me that. No, she's a fucking humanoid. Thank you.
That's right.
She takes bubble
right.
baths.
Yeah, you're like
with catnip.
With brown,
you're like the
brown
great,
bubbles.
You're like
No,
the
not
great
right now.
value.
Now she's gonna go hang out in that river for a minute and try to cleanse.
Oh, I'm
You're like
throw up.
you're like a great value tabaxi,
Yeah, kinda.
like the knockoff version.
A little bit.
All right, cool.
Aw.
But if you want to draw some fan art of Jinx cleaning the poo monster off of herself, you can do that to enter the fan contest.
Jinx covered in poo.
God damn it. It sounded too epic. I can't be mad at that.
Sure. It's gonna be on every episode.
Speaking of pussies, how's Cookie doing?
Shut up. I did forget about wizards. Okay, so this week's wizards, lots of hugs and pastries. Literally the embodiment of a bad breakup. That's what it was.
I do want to say I absolutely love that Cookie just makes fucking pastries for everybody. Like, I don't know why I love it so much, but I love it.
I got a question for him from Cody. I'll answer it later when we do a little. We're gonna do a little chat probably to cover Ari and Cookie a little bit. So we'll do that in a little bit. And I got a question that I had asked. So if you guys have questions for Cookie or Ari, go ahead and post them, and we'll save them for a bit. But this week we also learned about Mardek's kids, the Owens sisters. So at least they come by the smug condescension honestly.
Bingo.
Also, this puts several layers of awkward onto some relationships. First, you got Kai. She's in love with her grandma's ex-lover. And Anna, who clearly has a schoolyard crush on her dad. So this entire series just got put in a very strange Pornhub category.
Pornhub.
I'm not done.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah. Yeah.
Went down the
And
wrong
then
rabbit
there's
hole.
yes, I am going to reply to the letter. Part of that will be in this response actually to the question too. But me and Lily are already writing in much better terms than me and Lily Stegan were.
That bar is so low.
Yeah, it's a real low bar. But anyway, aside from the revelations of the sisters, then there's still Himian, right? So he's somehow actually even more out of place in this episode than the last. He's like the guy you run into years after high school who's still wearing trip pins and a mesh shirt. Like you don't need to ask how he's doing. It's the exact same the last time you guys talked, like 12 fucking years ago.
That's so accurate.
Fucking
Yeah,
epic though, bro.
he's like the last bastion of emo in a room full of bubblegum pop.
Ronan?
Thanks. Yes. that's me. Always, forever. It doesn't die. But it does seem like he did find his Helena as him and Anna grew closer. So I guess it turns out that even the Queen of Shadows isn't exempt from desperately searching for a rebound. Yeah, and it didn't take long to find Himian, who was taking a break from being mad at Thegan for abandoning him, to move in on his ex. So whatever. Can't think of two people more deserving. Congrats, you guys. Whatever.
Salty.
They deserve each other.
Salty.
And I will say this: I was talking to, I almost called him Himian. I was talking to Jordan after the show. I don't know how many people picked up on this, but like a lot of his rhetoric was very Thegan. Like even his speech at the end where he was like, "I'm not gonna be Thegan."
Was Thegan?
He was Thegan. Yeah, his one thing was like he said that he goes, "I'm gonna walk with no fear." And I know Taryn, I know Lily or Lizzie, like all these people that interacted with Thegan on any basis, like that was his thing, like no fear, no matter what we do. Fear is the worst emotion.
I was watching in a tent with a hotspot because I had to see how Lily was doing, and not great. And that was what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, oh my God, there's another one.
Yeah, 100%. And even he was laughing. He's like, I was trying, and everything I said just made it sound worse. I'm like, I know.
Poor Anna. Is there a tea edition?
They just put in chat an origins of unfortunate first friend. That was fantastic, by the way. He is like that is the best moniker that Thegan can have, is unfortunate first friend. But anyway, that was pretty much it for this week's campaigns. We also had outside of campaigns, we had an amazing one shot.
We did.
In honor of Trans Visibility Day. It was Dream Askew was the game. I think was there a different title to it? But the game itself was Dream Askew, and that was on Wednesday in Place of Realms. So you need to go check that out for sure.
You do.
So that's it for that. How was your guys' week?
It was good.
It has been good and productive. April is an insanely busy month for me, and I don't know when I'm going to take a break, but it's going to be good. I'm not dead yet.
You got something big coming up too, right? It's right around the corner at this point.
Yeah, it is. My debut as a DM on the Fable 42 network is coming up during FabledCon, you guys. I love this.
I don't need Sirenscape. I just need Ericscape, please.
Oh my God, Ericscape.
Ericscape. Yeah, no, I get to take a party of 5 into a spoopy little tale, and they get to meet one of the 12, which the 12 are very important in my setting, and I love them, and I'm so happy because somebody's being a grung, and I love the grung.
I'm not in that game, right?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm so excited. No, your character didn't fit for this one, but I'm excited.
Oh shit. Like I was literally afraid of everything.
It was so good. It was so good.
I'm obviously doing Fawks Talks the week of FableCon, and I'm also going to be in the Shonen one shot for the one that Jordan's running, so that's exciting.
Yeah. I was like, I'm also doing. I'm in Eddie's during FableCon. Yeah. I'm in Shonen, and then obviously we have like Legends that Monday, so it's gonna be busy. And then we've got some other stuff. I'm partaking in the Vault 42 version of the Fallout game one-shot thing for FabledCon as well, so that's a thing that we're also doing. I'm busy this month. It's insane. That's right.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Cody's still wondering what happened to his rouge.
Humble brag!
It's not a humble brag. That's a holy crap, I said yes to so much and I'm really excited, but I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah. And then all that on top of something that's happening in May.
Oh yeah, that other thing. My dice shop is opening up next month, you guys. Artisanal dice. I'm excited.
That's awesome.
And Fabled Femmes. I'm also in Fabled Femmes. Holy shit! I'm not gonna have a day off ever.
No, you're not. You know what? It's kind of fun actually, because the only thing that I'm in, other than a couple panels, is D'Angelo's game. I'm actually not in anything else.
Oh wow.
Shit, am I in panels? I'm in panels.
You're in a couple.
I have you beat. I'm in nothing.
I am also in.
Eric wins.
Yeah.
Or loses.
Win.
I don't know.
Eric, send beer. I'm gonna need beer.
Yeah. When's the dice launching? Is it the first week of May?
It should be somewhere between the first and second week in May. It'll be on my Instagram, so that's at Valrook. Go there, and that's where I'll start advertising things. I will have Ko-Fi or Patreon up as well to help find all of those things. And of course, the dice branding is the Umbral Oculus, and it has my beautiful spoopy themed eye symbol, and it's great.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you produce emo dice. Cool.
They sparkle.
Oh, okay, well, that's true. Yeah, and I already have like 4 different requests over the past like 6 months in. So
yeah,
those are the coming times. Sure.
Sparkles.
I don't even like sparkle when they sparkle.
What I got going on? I got that game coming up. Oh, Sunday we have the next Forged episode. So that'll be my episode. I think I'm the only one right here that's in it.
Why? So you get to meet your sister.
Yes, get to meet my sister. And well, re-meet, I guess, and then sort of go from there. Diane, I think, is in that one. Lizzie's in that one. Utahime's in that one. Man, I'm so good.
Which game are you talking about?
Foff.
The Foff.
What?
Forge of Fate.
Forged, yeah.
Foff.
That's this Sunday. I hate you.
I ain't got time to. I ain't got
You
time to
fluffer.
It's Diane, Renee, Ronan, Lizzie, and Utahime.
Renee. Oh god, he's gonna be so. Oh Jesus! Of course, that's the name. I forgot. He's gonna give me so much shit for that.
I hope
and if he's not in
Renee.
chat, we're gonna let him know.
I will let him know.
I was gonna say he doesn't watch the show. It doesn't matter. A couple things. I'm getting my tattoo. So next round is Wednesday. So I should.
You're getting Noble's face on your arm now,
I'm
right?
gonna get Noble's face, and then Chills right underneath it.
I'll give you $1,000 if you do that.
Okay, well, let's talk. No, it's the dragon. So it'll be sort of a sleeve at that point. You'll be able to tell it's gonna be a sleeve. And what else is happening? I'm supposed to announce the special guest. I can.
Oh yeah.
I'm not doing a recap for Vault, so I'll go ahead and do it now. Vault 42 tomorrow, 6:30 is Pacific. It's gonna have a special guest. Speaking of the person that's playing my sister.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll and your girlfriend.
Yes, she does.
That'll be our own Pie Heart that's in chat right now. She will be the special guest.
Love Lizzie LD on all the socials.
Yes. Sure.
I'm kissing butt right now. Okay.
Sure. She just sung your socials. I mean, that's about the best you're gonna get. So that's big news. I can't wait to see that. And also, April posted a picture. I'm assuming is some sort of teaser for a potential. God, what is the word I'm looking for?
Battle map.
Battle map. Yeah, that encounter map, something like that. That looks super dope. So super excited for that.
It's terrifying if you're a player, which I'm not. So really it's great.
It's multi-level, multi-building, surrounded by a gate. Looks super cool. Go check it out on our Instagram page. We were nominated for. There's a account on Twitter called TTRP Gifts. I think is how you would say it. They're an account that just obviously posts gifts from all different tabletop streams, and we were nominated for best one shot with the Tales of Zadia. So I think once everything gets announced, I'll kind of keep watching, but I think they're going to post some votes and things like that. So we'll announce that whenever that happens. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have the word Teletubbies written here, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what the hell is that?
Uh-oh.
I do remember. I mentioned Teletubbies last week because of the Frostguard episode, and I compared us to Teletubbies. And the second I say that, Yeah, I know Chris is already face palming. But I mentioned that because, and I had heard of them since I was a kid. They're back. They're doing something with cryptocurrency now.
What? No.
Saw it on Twitter.
Make them go away.
I was thumbing through Twitter and I was like, oh my gosh, I mentioned them, and all of a sudden they're back. That's the power I hold, people. So.
Yeah, with only one hand.
The tubby coin.
Yes, a tubby coin. It's gross. I want 50 of them.
Biggest eye roll ever.
I'm trying to think of anything else that happened this week. Oh, I got my COVID shot. So
Me too. Same day too.
Yeah, Taryn and I are COVID. No, I was supposed to say COVID, but COVID shot buddies.
Yeah, vaccine buddies.
Vaccine buddies. That's a better way. So got
definitely not poke buddies.
being
solo.
Being a.
You're welcome.
Being an adult, I guess, for the first time.
So vaxalicious.
Yeah. We celebrated by playing World of Warcraft.
That's true, we did. And I came up with a really awesome character that I shot to solo, and I'm super excited to play. And I'm not going to.
You're welcome for the contribution to that idea.
Yeah, that's true. It's a really cool character that I'm going to force onto Realms somehow.
Quickly.
Well, and if anybody
trash bin. Oh yeah.
If anybody wonders what Ronan and I are actually doing while we're playing World of Warcraft, is pretty much just constant brainstorming.
That's true, 100%.
And talking so much crap about everything.
It is a great April Fool's joke.
Oh yeah, you did have a good April. You want to tell people about your?
Well, I was just reading the chat.
I hate you. My eye twitched. You made my eye twitch.
You're welcome.
It was a good one. It was a good one.
No.
Luckily, I was at work for most of the day, so I didn't really notice. Like, I have those all the time anyway. And then,
I just love two things that I love. Thing one is I totally duped GW and Lindsay, made it all worth it.
100%.
But the second thing, which is equally, if not more satisfying, is everyone's first thought in this corrupted channel that I built that blames solo flies everywhere. Everyone's first thought was Jordan.
That's true.
I love it. That made it worth it. And then D'Angelo's video really was just the icing on the cake. Like trying to figure it out and what's going on, and it was great.
Yeah, it was. Oh, poor D.
Those are good jokes. I did post a Twitter thing. I mean, I compared April Fool's jokes to like trick or treating, so they're like really cool as kids, and then as you're an adult, it's just like, man, fuck off. But that was a good one because it didn't harm anything. A couple of them didn't go over so well in the bigger world. I guess Volkswagen got in some trouble with theirs, but I'm always sort of waiting for that. I like the fallout.
What did they? You know what? I'll look it up.
I don't know. They changed their name to like Volt VOLTS wagon, like they were going after Tesla's market or something like that. I don't know the full story. And anyway,
Chevy Volt.
Yeah, their stock like did some weird things because of it. So.
Yeah, I actually changed our icon because a couple people started leaving the channel. And I was like, "Oh shit! Well, fans are leaving. I need to stop this."
It's broke. But I got them out. All right, cool. Well,
that's the match on my way out.
That's pretty much it, I guess. So let's go ahead and get into it. We got a great lineup of guests this week. Joining us from Realms, the Beard himself, Mr. Erik Braa. And from Legends of Shawgal, the possum herself, Miss Lizzie Metcalf. But before we get into all that, as we all know, the campaigns are all about the choices that were made. So let's start Ronan's recap, and see how they did.
Recap.
Oh God, yes. Somebody clip that, and we'll just use it every week. It's fine. First up is Wizards of Ukador. We are on episode 4, A New Home. And I guess technically this is part 1 of that episode. So this week we picked up basically this episode's like 30 days after everyone's arrival at Greyhawk. And even with all that time that has passed, the Wizards continue to process the events of Ascension. Mardak, through his experience and words of wisdom, attempts to lead the school in the right direction. However, Anna calls out Mardak, which causes him to bring both Anna and her sister Kai to another location to disclose that he is in fact their father. Serious Darth Vader moment. It turns out that Mardak is also processing his own losses and issues as he reveals the truth to the twins. This means he's been dealing with this information and trying to keep their identity secret to obviously keep them safe. Eventually, it is decided that with a better understanding of the lay of the land, the school now plans to travel to Greyhawk, but this will be an easier said than done as it is a long, difficult journey. I thought like we entered Greyhawk, but the actual location is significantly further away than where we are. But that's where having friends comes into play. And speaking of, Himian and Anna connect more over their shadowy bonds, which will soon come in handy. The group will eventually make their way to a tavern for an open mic night, and while not an integral part of the story, might I say that Cookie's stand-up routine completely slayed. But if that wasn't your cup of tea, Lily performed a love song to her lost girlfriend, all while a familiar shadow watched on. Himian's shadow, Umbra, notices this shadowy figure, cough, Trayvonis, and investigates at the cost of their life. This causes the tether between Himian and his shadows to be broken.
Quit putting your nose where it don't belong.
I mean, I don't think you belong there. I think that, never mind. All right. While
excuse
Lily...
me, my girlfriend was upset, and I came to make sure she was okay.
Fair, whatever. Shut up.
I'm being Lily supportive, Thegan.
Yeah, killing things. Cool. While Lily has a girls' night with Kai and Kizana to help console her heartache, Anna helps Himian bring Umbra back as the two combine their power. And perhaps more. We'll see.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
Yeah. Yes, please. And that was pretty much it. So a lot of heavy role play on this. A lot of sort of succumbing to issues, heartache. There was a couple light moments. The song was really, really well done. It was a good episode. And the next episode is right after the show.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for that, as another group of wizards will experience probably similar tragic trauma and defeat. I have my question here. I'll come back to it whenever we talk about our stuff for Cookie.
Yeah.
Next up is Vault 42. Just kidding, Solo. But there wasn't one. But there was no episode this week. But I'll fill you in on what would have happened. Clay would have said something inspiring, if not slightly patronizing. Marcus would have poo-pooed something that would have been cool and slightly reckless, all while Ash threatened it. Tipper would have done something batshit crazy, and Pawn would have worshipped her for it. That's what would have happened. There you go. See?
Valid.
I can do a recap without a recap. The next episode of that we've already talked about is Monday or Saturday at 6:30. Tomorrow at 6:30. So tune in for that. Actually, next up is Legends of Shal Gal. We're on episode 23, Unforeseen Troubles. Okay, so I love every minute of this. So this episode picks up right where they had left off. The legends find themselves split up from each other, some at the orphanage, others about town. It turns out that Daffodil had performed all around the city after Draumar had asked her to, which is why she was MIA. Oscar finds her performing in the city center. Daffodil reaches out to Mata and eventually learns that she is at the orphanage and shit is bad. That's exactly what she finds out. Meanwhile, Frizz tinkers away at his portable forge, eventually being stopped by the city guards who believe he was assigned the spot and requests he set up in the Creative Plaza. This will lead Frizz and Daffodil meeting up as they both make their way through the streets. They agree that they need to go help Mata with the shit. Frizz has a special device for just that occasion. See, I told you there are a lot of references. Back at the orphanage, Jinx and Rex face off against the hag in her office. Jinx initiating combat, of course. Mata will sneak down the stairs, seeing a mage hand point towards the door. She sneaks near. Cass sneaks down, firing crossbow bolts and radiant blasts at the door, eventually seeing the hag and also shooting her. Rex also attacks the door, totally believing he took it out, which is what Jinx had asked him to do. The hag tries to put Jinx to sleep and succeeds, but it doesn't last that long. And after a heavy barrage from the legends, the hag decides it's best to step into the ethereal plane and disappear. After the fight, guards show up and take the children to the temple and ask the legends to track this hag and end her. Frizz and Daffodil make it to the orphanage soon after, and they learn that they're not actually dealing with literal shit. Yes. See, I told you. Cass is able to easily track the hag to a back alley and down into the sewers. Mata will sneak ahead, only seeing a pile of stuff in the sewer and a path heading further in. The legends follow, and Jinx pokes the pile of stuff because she just can't help herself. This leads her to being engulfed by this pile of crap, and they are in yet another fight. Daffodil tries to make friends with some sewer rats, but that doesn't go too well. And during the battle, a few of the legends spot the hag further down, having a limb for a meal, blood glistening from a light source. And it's confirmed there's at least a 74% chance that this is a child's limb, although Diane denied it. The legends continue to focus on the poo monster in an attempt to free Jinx. Eventually, Rex does manage to free his stinky girlfriend, but only after placing himself in her spot. Cass, meanwhile, focusing on the hag, takes the final blow with 2 radiant bolts to the eyes. The poo monster, aka a shambling mound, goes down soon after and frees Rex, who by this point was, of course, unconscious. The legends loot what they can on the hag and the orphanage, and for their troubles do find some interesting items. Nothing like robbing an orphanage you had intended to donate to. I love these guys. Anyways, they then head back to the inn to get baths, plural, and rest before figuring out what they're going to do next. So that is Legends of Shawgal. So it was kind of a side mission that got out of hand. They were about to head sort of in the direction of the next ruin, but the orphanage sort of took their attention for a while. So now
I do
that's
blame
done,
Solo for that.
for sure.
Why the fuck was that my fault?
Hold on.
because we were just going to make a donation,
Well,
and you were like, let's investigate this thing.
Listen, all I did was go up and just investigate it. Mata didn't have to do what she did and climb in the back. And y'all
Babyface!
didn't need to go provoke the hag anymore. So
Rex is like,
fuck
hey, I got a
you.
couple coins to spare. And you're like, cool, I'll turn into a kid.
I misunderstood what the plan was, but that
do
doesn't
feel like-
matter.
Again,
My favorite all-encompassing Shawgal moment is when he turns into a kid and Solo then looks at the camera and goes, I don't know what we're doing.
that does about sum everything up. And no, I know
so
that
good.
my fear, like honestly, as a Legend of Shawgal player, is that this isn't just an isolated event and we're in a town full of this stuff. Because
That's
Jinx
it.
is gonna die. Like she's gonna not be able to not hit things in the face with her staff. So
Sure. And yeah, that's what Diane just put. She put, is it a side mission? Question mark. So
don't like that.
more poo stuff to look forward to, I hope.
No. Unclean. Unclean.
It's a poopapalooza.
No more.
That's gross.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and well, as far as Realms of Ukador, which will be the next one we would go to, they also didn't have an episode. So hashtag blame Solo for that. But since they didn't, you should go again watch the VOD of Dream Askew because it was super dope.
It was.
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
So
let's
go ahead and take a break. Just a short break, and we'll get our first guest, Mr. Erik Braa, in, and we'll return here just shortly.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back. I think the reason that we do 30-second breaks, by the way, is that we used to do longer to do the raffle, and no one ever entered. So we just said, screw it, we'll do 30 seconds.
Well, I'll enter.
I mean, we don't need the break now. It's just about getting the
That's
overlay
true.
set up.
Okay, so my first guest can be seen every Wednesday on Realms of Ukador playing Carrick, which, by the way, didn't mention what I usually mention because he's on the show. And on Fridays, he plays Wizards of Ukador, he plays Chorus.
Oh, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, Erik, the reason I have a homemade teleprompter, Braa. So I don't know if you know this story real fast before we get into it. So the week that I played Pyriel, obviously I was in the chat, I was in the session, right?
Oh my god.
I was the battle map. And you guys were talking before the session started, and Erik was giving compliments to the show. He said it was a fun show. He likes us taking ribs on everything, which is my favorite part. But he said, man, I just wish he wouldn't read it so much because he has to look away while he reads it, and that's distracting. So
yes, I had no idea that you were hearing me.
And that's fine. That's so I literally have a homemade fucking teleprompter so I can look at
because I personally feel I okay, just because I got look, I think what you're doing is very funny, and I was like, I hate it that he's like sitting there going, and then they did this, and then they did, yeah, that was a real great choice, wasn't it? And I'm like, why isn't he looking at the camera, like literally giving me the charm and saying like, that was a great choice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
These guys are idiots. All right, so then they went to,
Yeah, well, and then now I'm here, and it just got so much better.
So yeah.
Oh, of course.
Erik was the start of the Fawks Talks evolution. So if you were wondering, it was Erik. Anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So just as before, we'll sort of jump into random questions about some of your characters and just we'll just whatever.
Random questions.
You can see how professional we are here. So
they're boxer briefs. Oh, that wasn't a question? Okay.
Yeah. And for the sort of thing I alluded to just a second ago, this is the first episode I think that I had not made a joke about Carrick's dead dad. So. Yes. When I got to chat with him after he was dead, or yeah. Right.
Good job,
okay.
Ronan.
And I just brought it up, just so I can I want to keep the streak.
You got to keep it alive, man. You got to keep it alive. Carrick and his stupid dead dad.
Yep. His dead dad. Okay, so I've been asking everyone this question that's been on Realm since Renee joined, so I would definitely want to get Carrick's sort of take on it. What's his sort of thoughts on Orion, and how does he feel about having someone there to sort of bother Eclipse?
Well, we're gonna need bigger litter boxes, I can tell you that much.
It's true.
I don't know. I mean, I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, all right, so more kitty time. But then I think there's a chance that because Eclipse and Carrick have like a little bit of a past connection.
Right.
And then so I think it's going to be kind of interesting to figure out what our connection is going to be, because I'm like, okay, I don't know who Orion is yet. And I've actually found that Carrick's starting to mistrust Nafiko a little bit, because there's too many fucking people in there, and I gotta know what the 100%. Fuck is happening.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's cool, and Renee's great, so obviously that's going to be awesome. I think they'll probably. I think there should be a moment where they get almost like Gimli and what's his name from
Legolas.
The elf. Yeah. Legolas and Gimli, where they like, throw a bunch of minions at us, so we can be like, I got 3 over here, and then he can be like, I got 4, like that'd be kind of fun.
He strikes me as Orion strikes me as the type that is very similar to Carrick, sort of personality wise.
There is definitely some cross. Yeah, I think so.
I can 100% see he is. I can see Carrick and Orion eventually them just sitting there and just having brews together. Like that's I feel like that's going to be the start of any bonding that happens, just because it's so pivotal for both of them.
Like I think Eclipse is similar as far as background goes and all that trauma and stuff, but the way that he handles it, the way Carrick handles his sort of past is much similar, I think, to Orion. Like I think they just were like, fuck it, it was terrible, whatever, let's move on, and they're not sort of bathing in it or wallowing in it.
I mean, Carrick has never been the most vocal and like touchy-feely kind of guy. The kid brought a little bit of it out of him, because he realized this freaking Rube is gonna get schooled when we go into any town. Like she's just like, everyone's my new best friend. So I think he just sort of was like, oh God, I'm gonna have to like keep an eye on this one. And then obviously she's more than capable, so it's like I think he'll get over himself at some point soon, but right now he just feels like, I gotta keep an eye on her. And honestly, I think Carrick is also like pretty quiet too, so like maybe I'm not the best castmate, but yeah, I'm usually pretty quiet, just because I don't think Carrick has a lot to say until he has to say it, unless he's drunk, which apparently we figured out that when he's drunk, he talks way too much.
Yeah, for sure.
He comments on everything.
I think that is. I think I may have said this the last time you're on here, but I think that is needed in any group. You need the person that is going to keep pushing people forward, because otherwise if you get a group that's like all about sort of emotional trauma and relishing in it, then there's a good chance they might not ever get anything done.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah. No,
come on.
And it's, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily me, but definitely Carrick is just sort of like, what are we done? Can we get going? Can we go kill something? What's happening?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, well, actually, I'm getting so much better at transitions. Carrick strikes me as the type ready and willing for war or battle. It's particularly with Argu and that sort of thing. How does he feel about all of these sort of distractions that are going on? Whether they lead to something or not, but Reynaud, Zyoku, or however you pronounce that robot's name, the deep discussion about all the planning and the next steps, like, does he get aggravated with that sort of stuff?
He gets to where he doesn't really like, why are we touchy-feely? Like, he's like, he's more of a man of action.
Yeah.
So, or dragon man of action. But yeah, he wants to go get to the bottom of this. Plus, the sooner we can wrap up, in his mind, the sooner we can wrap up whatever drama we got to deal with down here, the sooner I can get back to Oracle Bay, find my family potentially, maybe even help take it over.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he's got his own plans, but this sort of stuff is,
well, I mean, again, he's
evil to deal with until then.
Yeah, and but at the same time, like, he does actually still care. Like, you know, he thinks the kid's like, I got a little soft spot for her, so like, he's gonna stick around for that sense. And of course, the other guys, everybody else in the cast is great. It's just, you know, he doesn't know if that matters to him. And again, there's so many individuals living in there that I don't know, like, Carrick doesn't know what to think about this right now. And now befriending this construct, and then Kyriel's like, doesn't want to have any part of it. And so there's like, I think, I don't know, he might try to stir the pot a little bit, see if he can instigate a little something.
It's very weird. I mean, and the likelihood of them all being genuine and virtuous and all that sort of stuff is decreasing by the second as a new one pops up. You're like, all right, one of these bastards is evil as hell. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna get control of the body and do something bad. Yeah.
And then they're gonna side with the rest of these little creations and try to take over the world.
Yep. Interesting.
And then Ukator will crumble.
Good. That'll be great. I love the drama.
Great. It's just, I want to sit on the smoking ruins and be like, yep,
that's me. That's what
I knew it was coming. Whole time.
Okay, this is a sort of back to the key one stuff. So you guys had sort of an emotional moment over her brother, but obviously it's been sort of bang, bang, bang since then. Is he interested in sort of having like a heart-to-heart or a sort of touchy-feely conversation with her, or is that something he wants to avoid, or does he know?
I think he's avoiding it more than anything. And honestly, her brother made a decision and was like, I'm fine. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And I think Carrick's sort of like, that's kind of shitty, but at the same time, like, okay, well, you can't fault the guy for wanting to do what he needs to do.
Sure.
She's the one that's like really sad they're not going to, be family and tight like that. So like, what's he supposed to do? So that's why I think, like I said, I think that's been more of the reason why Carrick's like, all right, I'll keep sticking with it. Like, he hasn't peeled away and just said like, I'm just going to Oracle Bay. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. If she decided to sort of go on a, like when this stuff was calmed down and decided to go on a crusade for her brother, if you still hadn't made it to Oracle Bay, would you go with her instead of going to Oracle Bay?
Ooh, that's a tough call. I really don't know. It would honestly depend in that moment, because Carrick really does want to figure out if he has family left that he didn't know about, by the way.
Sure.
So, you know what I mean? Like, that's, and then the fact that he now knows Orgul, he's like, oh, all right, hold on, I could be in with the big cheese of all of this, and we could freaking run this place. So Although I think the reality of, you know, slave trade and all that kind of stuff is not exactly appealing anymore, because now he's got like some more touchy-feely.
I did want to bring up, because Diane is in the chat, and she did say you guys do have bracelets now. And I mean, as a viewer, that means that's totally binding. Y'all are...
I will say I know the answer to the question of whether you would go with her or not, and it's because I have a 6-year-old daughter. You would. She would do the puppy dog eyes and you'd be like, God damn it. All right, fine, let's go.
Carrick would grumble along and be like, we're going after this.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Which is why Ronan has a new microphone now. He's just like,
That's true. My 6-year-old daughter played with my microphone and broke the connection tip. So instead of get mad at her, I just bought a new one. Whatever. But yeah, such is life. All right. So, and this sort of leads right into this. So, how does Carrick feel being, for all intents and purposes, the sort of adopted father figure of the Dawnbreakers? We talked a little bit about this since then, but it's actually even sort of evolved since then.
What? Don't put a label on me.
I was gonna say, does he consider himself that? I guess
no, he definitely doesn't. I think. Yeah, I don't think that's something that he considers. He, again, like I said, I've been playing him, and I feel like the character he's quietly just watching until, and it's like that thing where you let a kid play near something maybe potentially dangerous.
Sure.
And you go, okay, until they get right over by it. Yeah. Then, you know, you let them kind of be.
Are they going to learn? Are they going to learn? Nope, not this time. Okay.
Exactly. Then you yank them back. But, and I think that's kind of like, and again, it's not like I'm really dealing with a child per se, because obviously, Kiwan's not a child. Like she's
relatively speaking, yeah.
She's, excuse the term, but dopey at times, because she's just so lovable and like open to people. But she's, you know, she's pretty capable, so I don't think he has to be too worried about it. But yeah, I think that's definitely something that he's doing. Is just sort of like,
yeah. Yeah, I think it's sort of a default position that he's going to be in, just because, I mean, Eclipse is also kind of world travel, but Carrick seems to be the most world traveled, and just sort of most sort of.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, he spent a lot of time in Urgel Bay with like pirates and working like slave trade and things like that. So yeah, he's had one of the darker backgrounds, I think, of all the characters.
The only one that I'm literally thinking out loud now that has led an adult human life, or not human in this case, but Dragonborn. Like everyone else is literally, they may be close to adulthood or are adults, but they led very sheltered, like homeschool lives. So,
well, Eclipse, I guess, has some.
It is, but his is a little different. His is more traumatic, and he kind of lives in that bubble. So it's a little different. You kind of were out there doing things, and he's only like 18 anyway. So, yeah, I guess that's you're the de facto dad. It's going to be interesting if he ever actually realizes it and then sort of has to come.
Yeah, I'm almost sad you even put that thought into my mind.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No, you're welcome.
Okay, so there does seem to be some romance brewing, not with Carrick, but on Realms. It was mentioned last week between Eclipse and Nafiko's got this sort of weird thing happening right now. But they wanted to know, some of the fans want to know, what are Carrick's thoughts on romance? Where does he stand on that whole idea?
Wow. At the moment, it's been how do you put this right? Evenings at taverns.
Okay.
Because it's funny that you say that, because I have to admit, I don't know that the characters ever told me anything about like being in love with anybody. I think there's been sating needs, I guess, is sort of like the way you'd put it. Yeah. There hasn't been anybody like heartstring, tugging the heartstrings.
And that's probably not something he's actively looking for currently.
I mean, I envisioned that in the past there was probably somebody, and it didn't go quite the way he thought it might go, and then was like, I'm sort of burned on all that shit. I can get needs taken care of. I don't know if I'm going to ever find that person, but we shall see. Who knows?
I want Carrick to fall in love with Eclipse's companion. In the white dragonborn form, of course.
Bird in the dragonborn form.
Yeah,
oh yes, Bird. Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that would be interesting.
That's what I want to happen.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah, whatever. Check out my fanfic.
Your fanfic, what? Feathers and Scales?
That's
Heyo.
now.
That's what it's called now. Yeah,
It is now.
that's
Chill
it.
says that would be a hoot.
Oh,
Aha! Boy, that would be a hoot.
I appreciate my mod. Okay, so how has traveling with the group affected Carrick's view of the world? You know, he had sort of a hard view of the world previously. Has that changed much?
He's definitely softened. That's for sure.
Sure.
Again, when we were starting this, it was like just like, oh God, I gotta keep an eye on her. And then they get up, and when they end up up north in the snow, he actually begins to appreciate how the other members of the group are becoming a family to him.
Sure,
So yeah, I think we're beginning to see the melt of the frozen heart, perhaps.
Yeah, and I think that I'm curious to know, like, I guess they're having quite a more influence than the other things, because they're still like everything that you guys are encountering sucks ass. You know what I mean? So like,
Blame Solo.
It's all you know what I mean? It's all still evil and stuff like that. He hasn't, you know, he's not jaded from all of that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Well, he was a lot darker. I mean, like I said, you know, when he was working in the trade and, you know, being pirate and all that kind of stuff, like,
yeah, right.
He was definitely had a darker vision of the world. He was very angry because the village, when he was a little kid, the village that he was in, like, he didn't even understand why his parents were not there and why he ended up alone. And then the village kind of hated on him because they had like dragon attacks. So they saw him as like, well, you're kind of like them. So they treated him like shit. And so then that's why he ended up on the run to Orgel Bay. And that's why he took what he could get. You know what I mean? Right. The hard knock life.
Yeah, sure.
Just gonna bust out some Annie right now. But yeah, I think he got jaded, and he did that for a long time. And then about the time that Eclipse was locked up, there was a couple of other people that might have meant something to him, and he saw what was happening, how they were being treated, and how it was ultimately, it wasn't just beings that you were forcing to do stuff. Right. It was people that he knew. So that's when he couldn't take it anymore and finally freed Eclipse and the rest of the people that were in those cages. But then he paid a price for that. Luckily got away, but yeah.
It's also really hard to be like a hard ass when you're on like the weirdest episode of Barney ever. Like,
I love you.
It's really, I mean, you guys are walking around with like people that are in love with old ladies named Janice, calling herself the Good Buddies. You're like, nah, I guess.
Oh, the Good Buddies, worst name ever.
Yeah,
worst name ever.
Yeah,
oh
so
man,
Dawnbreakers got thrown out there.
I'm glad that got thrown out there.
This is a tip to all young DMs out there, or just all DMs in general. Don't put your players in a position early in a campaign where they have to give you a party name and they're not ready for it, because then you get the Good Buddies.
I love it though. It fit for so long. It doesn't fit anymore, I don't think. But in the beginning, it definitely fit. But yeah, it's hard to be a hard ass amongst those people.
Well, keep we're all just best friends. You know, you're just like, oh my God. Good Buddies actually fits and I hate it.
Lizzie said, Lizzie put in the chat, no regrets.
Yeah, right.
So it's true. It's true.
You can hear that trailing off too. No regrets.
No regrets. I love everyone.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So what are some of the notable changes that you have felt between playing Carrick and playing Torque?
Oh, well, that okay, just take the fatherly thing that you were talking about.
Right,
like
you're a family man. Yeah.
Torque was absolutely started off as kind of family man, and actually became slightly less, I guess, along the way, and then maybe right at the end became, dad again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a time when Torque was like, "Oh, I don't fuck children, wives, all that stuff doesn't matter. I just want revenge for these, who I already lost." Carrick has started out much darker, and that's never a thing, and now beginning to turn into a dad, I guess, as you pointed out.
True. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, he's getting too soft. Hold on a second. I'm gonna start killing some unnecessary people.
Need to go start fucking sharpening my gun or something.
Sharpening my gun. That was my go-to in Realms 1 was what's Torque doing? And they're like, magical weapons don't really need that. And I just kept going.
Right. Shut up. Let me do my thing. Okay, cool. So let's pivot from Carrick for a minute. So Chorus, he seems obsessed with grasping as much power as possible, with this common theme here. What would need to happen in order to make him be more careful?
Probably the real world. Being at the school, like this giant attack and all the stuff that just happened, that's actually starting to like weigh on him a little bit. He's starting to figure this out. But being at the school and like blowing up the library, and then really ultimately there wasn't that many repercussions, so he was like just sort of like
consequences.
So I'm like, I'm in the training mode, you know what I mean, like I can do whatever. And like
I do want to add, just for canon's sake, Ari was totally in there, and I did not appreciate you blowing me off of that shelf.
Yeah, that's fair.
You singed her hair.
I'm so very sorry. He's like I said, he's slowly gotten to where like he's seeing what power is. And so he's like, oh, I can learn a spell that like will really mess some stuff up. So he's like getting super excited by that. And he's begun to see how like prom happened, and Chorus didn't really care what prom was until he had a nip. And then he was like, oh, it's beautiful. There's like people are dressed up pretty, and there's like, but I think he got obsessed with power for a little while there, and I think that's I don't think we're really done with it quite yet, but I think the real world and these consequences that are happening is starting to weigh on him, and he's starting to realize, should I be afraid, or should I just get really strong and cocky?
Right. See, and I'll tell you a little something meta here for everybody. So obviously there was a lot of back and forth between me and Solo about sort of Thegan's path and then how that leads into Voltalk and all that sort of stuff. At one point, I think it was after you blew that, did the explosion or whatever, there was a conversation that was like, hey, Chorus may be a potential ally there, if you can kind of steer him in that direction for more power and all that sort of stuff. And the opportunity like literally never arose.
I think part of it is just me, like how often I'm on the show kind of thing. That would have been awesome. I think so. Like that could have been pretty interesting, because like I said, Chorus is like obsessed at the moment with like, wait, if you have more power than someone else, you know what I mean? The obvious, right? But for him, he's like learning that he didn't really, there's also an uncle that's out there somewhere we haven't accounted for just quite yet. The one that dropped him off at the school. And I don't know what's going to happen with him, whether or not we ever touch that again or it's done. But I have a sneaking suspicion he's going to be somebody pretty powerful. And then that's going to make him, what? Hold on,
Yeah. I
don't know. There's lots for him. But again, Chorus he's pretty quiet. He hangs out in that library. He's always trying to learn more. So
as the story went on, I was like, damn it, that would have been, he would have been.
Yeah, it would have been perfect. You're actually absolutely right. I didn't even think about that myself.
Yeah, he was, because I mean that was pretty much everything like that he did at prom. Like every conversation that Thegan had was some sort of scheme to gain an ally or a potential friend. It worked out real well for him in the end, but it was there was I was always scouting, and that was one that was on the books for a minute. Okay, so a couple sort of personal stuff that people were interested in. So you, Erik, what are your favorite stories to read? And I'm assuming they mean for voiceover work, but also you. What are your favorite stories to read?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I mean, I started doing story time, and they're all really fun. I think, I mean, I've only got like 3 of them up there right now, but the comedy stuff I think is very fun because if you play it very straight, to me, it's even funnier.
Yeah, right.
But the second story had like a lot of dark, ooh, what will happen? Like I think that's kind of fun. And honestly, I mean, I'm sure any actor that you ask would tell you that being the villain is freaking amazing because you get to do stuff you would never do. You're not going to go hurt somebody and then take pleasure in their pain.
Right.
I'm actually working. Eventually, I'm going to figure out how to do this. I'm working on my own Disney villain song. A simply terrible person. But eventually I'll have to figure out how to make that. But yeah. But awesome. I mean, I don't know. I lost the question already, I think.
Favorite story.
Oh, yeah.
That pretty much answers it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, well, before we jump on to our next guest, is there anything cool that you're currently working on that you can tell us about or you want to plug?
I'm bringing the broadcast back, which is just like my podcast about like the industry and interviewing other actors and directors and people that are in the industry. Awesome. So I'm doing that. I'm possibly this weekend it launches. I'm waiting on the pieces of art I need for like just the logo and everything. And then of course the story time and the sleepy time. And I'm just about to start working on the new audio drama that's going to be a comedy about gods that sort of live among us, but they've lost some of their power. In a way, it's a little bit sort of American Gods, but it's not. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, I'm working on all the stuff that's 3-pound magician. So
awesome. Sweet. Very cool. Well, thank you. Can you hang out for just a little bit?
Sure.
We'll play a game here in just a little bit. Okay, so we'll take a real quick break, and we'll be back with our next guest.
Quick break.
Quick break. Welcome back to all my accidental rat babies. Sorry, break talk. My next guest tonight can be seen every Monday playing Daffodil on Legends of Shall Gal. Everybody, welcome Miss Lizz Metcalf. Welcome back. How are you?
Hello, thank you. I'm good. I'm getting ready to move my life so I can have a bigger streaming area. But yeah, I'm good.
Awesome. Yeah, my streaming area is literally this big.
You've got some really nice JPEG wood behind you. So
it's real. It's real.
What?
It's a real backdrop.
It's a real backdrop.
But it is a real backdrop.
It's not real wood, is what she said.
It's definitely not real wood.
It's still a JPEG.
It's a JPEG on a sheet of paper.
Ronan, do you know what a JPEG is?
Yeah, shut up. All right. Anyway, I meant that it's real paper. Never mind. Shut up. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Just so you're aware,
Chat says Ronan has fake wood.
Yeah, I was going to say specifically, Erik says you have fake wood.
Fake wood. This is embarrassing.
Hashtag fake wood is
he also said heard it first here.
Listen, that's what Fawks Talks does. It breaks news and wood. Okay, anyway, back on track. Welcome to the show, the best show on the network.
Excuse me.
I want to ask you some questions about the second best show on the network, and specifically Daffodil. Okay, so first question about the sort of latest episode. So she seemingly abandoned her friends for Draumar, sort of, in a way. So which does she place more value in currently? And if the choice was required between him and the group, which would she go for?
Yeah, which would she go for?
That's a good question because she's I know, sorry, Jinx. You know, if Jinx would stop trying to eat Ratcliffe, then maybe this would be a better answer. No,
I can't wait for that to play out though, because it's a joke.
Oh, I know, but I think something funny could happen from this. But you know, that's a good question because early on, when Daffodil first met Draumar, she was just, you know, gung-ho for fame. Like she wanted to be famous. Sure. But now things have kind of shifted because she has her friends and whatnot. And then Ratcliffe is granted, Ratcliffe is from Draumar, but you know, they have their adventures together. But that's a really good question. I guess we're gonna have to see where Daffodil's character development, because if she were to answer right now, she'd be really conflicted.
Sure.
But maybe leaning a little bit more towards friends, but that might also mean she has to say goodbye to Ratcliffe. So is she ready for that? Her little pouchless possum to say goodbye? I don't know. I don't think so.
So this sort of leads into the next question. So what's the reason behind why she keeps Ratcliffe a secret sort? I mean, some, I guess, have seen the true form, but most have not, or don't know the full story there. So does she not trust the group, or does she worry about the reaction, or what's going on there?
Well, she has her contract from Draumar that NDA. She's not allowed to talk about. Otherwise, she's probably going to lose these cool abilities or potentially everything. But to be quite honest, and this is actually kind of funny, I don't really think she sees Ratcliffe as an imp. I think she sees him as a tiny pouchless possum, like almost like her child. So like,
wow, he dies weird.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, he got ugly fast. But I really don't think that she sees him as like a fiendish creature. Like she sees him as like just like her, but smaller and without a pouch and, you know, with longer front teeth. But like when Ratcliffe got decimated back in Weesage's cave, glacier, I should say glacier, she was just so overcome with like just grief, and she didn't know she summoned him. She's, you know, new at being a warlock. She's been a bard that you know, acrobatics dropout that left her home to go be a bard and sing, and then suddenly all these weird things start happening. So she didn't really realize that she conjured Ratcliffe. So she's kind of learning these.
Too. I was kind of curious to know if that was her playing it off, or was she really clueless as to whether she actually found versus summoned that thing? She
thought that she summoned him. Granted, at the time she was kind of looking around for friends in a cave, but little did she know she summoned Ratcliffe. Yes. So
Nice.
so she didn't know. So she was genuinely really upset and sad. And yeah, so long story short, she kind of doesn't see him as an imp. She sees him
Right.
more like her.
I'm very interested to see how this plays out because I have a feeling, obviously, if it's a traditional warlock thing, he may ask you to do something that is not in the group's best interest. So I'm curious to know how those allegiances will play out. Although it probably depends on time frame as well. Depends on how close you are with both sides.
Yeah, that's true. But also too, Daffodil's pretty chaotic. Like,
That's fair.
like, you know, friendship and
A little
chaos,
chaotic.
a little harder on the chaos side. So I guess
Sure.
it depends what's being asked. Like if Draumar asked, like, you have to kill one of your friends.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Like granted, that's not in her character, except if Jinx eats Ratcliffe. Except if Jinx eats Ratcliffe. But yeah, I have a feeling that's going to happen because that's what you have. That's what happens when you're dealing with denizens of the otherworldly planes.
Sure.
But I guess we're gonna have to see. But she is more chaotic. So if it's something not super bad, because she's not evil, she is good.
Right.
But a little bit more on the neutral side.
Sure.
I would say actually she started off more neutral, like just like I'm doing whatever's good for me, and then started leaning a little bit more to the chaotic good side. So
right. I could see that 100%.
Yeah, she's possum,
so,
you know.
So, and she's an entertainer, and so I'm curious to know, like, as sort of an entertainer with just sort of almost solely that background, what does she make of all like the blood, the fighting, the hands, the elemental gods, all this sort of crazy shit that you guys are getting into?
Yeah, it's definitely creepy, but she's seen a lot weirder stuff traveling in the circus because she grew up in the circus.
Okay.
Traveled since she was just a little wee pouchling, and has seen some shit to put it lightly.
Sure.
And she's traveled also too on her own for a little while at least, leaving her family and seeing kind of some ugliness of the world and some magics and stuff. So while she's a little naive to what's happening to her, she swims in trash. For God's sakes,
Sure.
like she swims in actual trash.
I was gonna ask, is it more or less shit than you guys saw down in the sewer? But
Screw
I guess
you.
It's maybe more.
I think Frizz has a device for that.
Yeah,
Shit swimmer.
Oh no.
Can we clip all these, please?
Right.
Okay, and I don't think I know you haven't been on since then. So what does Daff make of Cass? What and that whole sort of relationship?
So Daff initially, like, okay, when I say initially, I mean like in the first 5 seconds of meeting him,
Sure.
was a little wary of him because Ratcliffe and I did spooky eyes at him for a second, and then he did spooky eyes back, and we're like, okay, he's cool. He's cool.
That's all it took.
That's all it took is a return spooky eyes. And then of course, Cass looks out for Daffodil. I got to, kind of cling on to his back, which is his warm crossbow was, because I almost got murdered by pretty much an ice fireball, because Daffodil has a natural lower than normal body temperature, as possums do. It's 91 degrees Fahrenheit. So she's weak to cold. So, so that was devastating. But she likes Cass.
And you guys may have more things to talk about here soon after his sort of near-death experience.
Yeah.
I think you guys may be on that sort of same wavelength now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so this is actually my wife's question. She was curious. So who does Daffodil respect the most in the group, and who does she respect the least in the group?
Oof. That's a good question.
Wow. Maybe your wife wants to do this show.
Oh, fuck you. She
runs all of his content by her. Continue.
That's 100% true. Actually, she told me to veto the Jinx joke from earlier, and I vetoed the veto.
Yeah, and we were. Yeah.
See, that's smart though.
Yeah, it is.
Get a woman's perspective.
She's the first critic. Anyway,
only critic.
Most respected, least respected in Daffodil's opinion.
Okay, so this is tough because this is gonna be a little funny, but Daffodil's really sarcastic, so it's like she doesn't exactly respect anyone. Dralmar, though, on the other hand, she highly respects. But and Ratcliffe, she super respects. You can hear her talking to Ratcliffe, sometimes like, no, wait, no, I wouldn't say that. No, okay, but I understand. Okay, we'll talk about it later. But I know she gives Jinx, she pokes fun at Jinx a lot. She pokes fun at Rex a lot. She kind of pokes fun at Frizz a lot, but it's through Oscar.
Yeah, right.
She does it through Oscar. And then Mata's kind of like, I think maybe Mata she respects the most, because Mata's kind of chaotic and shifty.
Yeah,
like her.
Sort of birds of a feather type thing.
Yeah, well, also Mata's my manager, so
that's fair. Gotta respect
I gotta respect the manager.
Yeah, I would guess that it would be not somebody that doesn't necessarily deserve respect, but just somebody that doesn't mesh well with, like, I think her and Rex seem to clash on sort of a philosophical basis, to the point where I don't think she would value his opinion as much as somebody else, because they're just so opposite. So he's so straight-laced and whatever.
Well, that's kind of what I mean. That's kind of what I see. Is it's not so much like a lack of respect. It's just more of like, you're the guy that tells me I should not trust Draumar, essentially, and also keeps dying in combat, is probably how Daffodil, like, because she seems very like, she's just kind of like, in a lot of ways, as like chaotic as she is, she also seems practical, and like things kind of not necessarily face value, but she's like, you keep saying this and doing this, so this is how I feel. Like, and I love watching Daffodil's reactions just to everything. So that's like kind of spot on, is it's like, oh, I shouldn't trust Draumar, I'm gonna trust him even harder now. Like that's pretty much like, if you tell her she can't do something, she's going to want to do it more.
She's like an angsty teenager.
So she's
rebellious phase.
She's very impulsive and animated, and Rex is more withdrawn, like not necessarily withdrawn, he's composed and calculated. So she's a good, and he's also tall and she's short, so it's complete polar opposites.
That's right. Although I guess now you guys may have some commonality now too, if the shadow thing progresses with him. I'm
keeping notes up here.
So is Jinx.
Of course. So hypothetically, if Daffodil had no musical ability, what would she want to do?
Oh gosh. Well, I wouldn't be an acrobat, because that's what my moms want, and you always have to go against what your moms want, or your parents. You got to be angsty. Angsty right. Possum. And the obvious answer would be trash collector, but I would say probably a ranger.
Oh, okay.
I mean, granted, it's like warlock and all, but definitely like a ranger, that she would probably sell her abilities. Be like, hey, I see you're getting attacked by this bear.
So like a scout for hire or something.
Yeah,
like that?
pretty much.
I could see that.
You should like a little chaotic Girl Scout, pretty much. Small and it can be found in trash cans periodically.
Sure. Selling trash cookies every 6 months or so.
Ooh. Don't get me started on trash cookies.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about the songs last time and how you sort of come up with them off the cuff. I was curious. I didn't follow this up, which I should have. So I thought about it this time. Do the songs that you parody, do you have those beforehand, or do you, like the oh god, I'm not a music person, but the melodies or whatever, the sort of cadence of the song beforehand?
No. Some of them I know from when I'm like I grew up with songs, like I did Evanescence last week, and right. I was grew up as a brooding gothy teen, so I listened to that on repeat, so I already knew. Right. But like there are a couple times, like when I did WAP, I actually, when the party was doing stuff, I pulled up the song and was just kind of like, if you see, this is like, I'm just bobbing my head, and then I'll just kind of mouth some things like, Like I'm just putting it together. Because there's sometimes things that I don't always know the melody or how it's supposed to go, or have to like form what I'm taking, like the words, the lyrics I'm writing, and mesh it to a melody. Because there's definitely a couple times where it doesn't mesh, and it then is me tripping over myself verbally.
But still, like even the idea that, I mean, that actually just makes it some like 100% more amazing that happens, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, like Evanescence, I didn't decide until Jinx got knocked out for like 2 rounds, and everyone's like, "Jinx, wake up!" And I'm like, "Wake me up, Inside! She can't wake up! Wake her up, Inside! Jinx, wake up!"
That was so good. It's one of my favorite things, especially like when we've had a stressful session. Like, no lie, it's just like, okay, Daph, we need it now. And you can
tell that because like in the last episode, Daph was like, "Well, I got a song, but we can wait till morning," and everyone was like, "No, like, we need to hear it now."
Serenade us into sleep.
Sing it.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I like write all of them on the fly. There's like a couple times where it's like something happened and I didn't get a chance to write a song or something. Yeah. So I'll save it for next session. I'm trying to remember which one that was, but also as I mentioned during Monday's show, I am not a singer. My sister is a singer. She is very good. I make doodles. I do the art stuff, but I like poetry and I like comedy. So it meshes well. And
I think it's the fact that it's, I just think it's all fantastic. I think the improv is amazing, and even if it's like whatever, not the most amazing singing or whatever that's ever existed, it's still it fits. It all fits together really well. I think it's perfect.
Shucks.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts. And it fits the group so well. It's just the chaotic nature and insanity that is the Charlotte Gallcast. Okay, so a couple other fan questions. What is your favorite monster to use as a DM? So outside of the daffodil stuff.
Oh, me? Probably dragons. But it might be because I'm playing Horde of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat. But adult dragons with lair abilities are fantastic. Yeah. But I actually used to hate playing casters because I didn't play, or as monsters, because I didn't play a lot of casters when I first started playing D&D. I think also too, one of the easiest classes to kind of get into was probably Rogue, because you don't have a spell list. It's sneak. Yeah. Do you get sneak attack? And if so, roll that extra dice. And it was pretty easy to get into. Also, you can hide and like be out of sight, so you don't get you're not in the front lines. My thing was like do assassin rogue, shoot from behind the corner, and then hide behind the corner, and then do that for another 10 rounds. So but I've definitely started to get into playing like wizards, evil wizards. I have some Thasian wizards that I have been kind of dabbling in, but it's so important to know the spell sheet, like the spells they use, as well as like how to use them. But I have found after I flubbed my first dragon encounter, which was a white dragon in Skyreach Castle, I forgot. I was like, oh wait, what do you mean I don't have to wait 5 or 6 rounds for breath weapon? It's like, if you roll a d6 and you get a 5 or 6, you can use it. So the next time I played it was a white adult dragon in the Sea of Moving Ice. It was a Rathator, old white Dith. I got like 5-6s in a row, and my party was very scared. And I was using lair abilities. I forgot to use legendary actions my first fight. I was using legendary actions. I was getting within tail swipe range and then flying away. It was very fun. I've never seen my parties so terrified. Their cleric went down like 3 times. Their rogue set off, face checked a poison trap and was vomiting hairballs for like 5 rounds because he was a tabaxi. So,
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I DM'd for a little bit before I quit, and I kind of always avoided casters just because there was that sort of extra layer of things you had to manage. And even so, I did my evil wizard went to Realms to sort of guest spot as the bad guy, and Solo sent me the character sheet for what I don't even remember. Was he a level 20 wizard at that point? I don't know, but
no, he was 12 or 14.
12. Yeah, I didn't think it was. Yeah. So, but anyway, it had all these spells and all this stuff, and I was like, oh god. And so like that entire fight is just me like scanning my sheet, like reading and trying to organize everything. So that's one thing I avoided, but they're fun. I think they make for the much better, much more interesting fights is when you get into those complicated beasts.
Yeah, and my best piece of advice with that too, this is how I learned, was watch somebody who's good at playing that class play them. Because actually I learned how to play a wizard through my wizard player. Ali Jafarder, which is Ollie and Jafar at the same time.
Sure.
And Harry Potter at the same time. It was
sure, of course.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Kalav had a follow-up question from chat. Do you feel you have to underplay your monsters to avoid TPKs?
Oh my god, I have to overplay them. This is why I don't show health. I'm just like, okay, I'm just like, I'm gonna add 50 more health here.
Yeah, right.
Like, I think some of my dragons too are like ancient adults. They're like middle-aged dragons. We'll go with that. Middle-aged dragons.
Slightly over the hill dragons.
Middle-aged dragons that have had a rough day, need their coffee, so they're sticking around.
They have been in traffic for several hours. It is just unreal. They can't get peace and goddamn quiet. And you are now in their lair trying to take their treasure. How dare.
They haven't even taken the goddamn laundry out of the dryer. Like,
unbelievable.
That's the
Get
worst.
Together, dragons.
I am
anxiety.
Yes,
constantly. It's like, this is I projecting. Gosh. But I definitely adjust my encounters, because honestly, the end goal is for everyone to have fun and enjoy it, because like, especially my home games, everyone's had like a rough week. I look forward to these games actually quite a bit because they're super laid back and casual. Where's Jordan?
Hashtagging it.
Hashtag casual. And they're super funny too. Like we had these giant spiders, and I'm like, the prey is getting larger. So the first web had a praying mantis, and then the second web had birds and a squirrel stuck in it. And then they got to the third web, and there's like a full-size wolf, a cop car, a giant fidget spinner, and a computer. And I was like, the prey is increasing in size. And then they set it on fire, and then we did like Michael Bay explosions and Roll20.
Sure.
That's so it was like, but I adjust those encounters so they're fun, because I want my players to look forward to coming next week to feel properly challenged, but also like not completely defeated, because real life does that enough.
For sure, yeah.
But having a correct challenge. It took me like a year to figure out how to correctly scale my monsters, because I had like 6 people playing, and the campaigns are written for 4.
Right.
And then I might have given them 1 or 2 magic items too many. Who knows? Nobody's keeping track. But yeah, after a year, I make them harder is the correct answer. Right. The TLDR.
Yes. Okay, let's see. This is back to Daffodil. Has there ever been a song that Daffodil is unwilling to perform?
I've actually never gotten requests, so but if granted, Daffodil as well as Liz Fur would not do any songs that promote hate, discrimination, or just any bad stuff like that. Daffodil is a very inclusive bard. So
Okay, here's a question. If she got requested in the interim while Oscar 3.0 is awaiting creation, would she keep, what does the Oscar say, like close until, like, because right now there isn't one, right? So like,
was
she
planning
feel bad
on
about singing that one?
No, because she's gonna reteach it to him and be like, hey, like, this is what you need to know, because this is going to happen. We're going to be walking around and you don't know when performance will strike, and we absolutely need to be ready. So it's just a little bit of programming. That's
fair.
Friz is gonna walk away again at some point. Like
one good evening and you guys are back at it.
And there's no telling how many times that Daff is going to have to do that. Apparently.
That's 100% true, because you got, I envision, oh man, we should run a poll. What number Oscar do you think they'll be on by the end of the campaign?
Oh,
I don't want to know.
Yeah, I want to know. My guess is somewhere, we're definitely gonna be in double digits.
Oh yeah.
But I think we'll be under 20. So somewhere between 10 and 19 is my guess.
I'm gonna go with 42.
Now it's a goal. We have to off Oscars 42 times.
He's just gonna get stabbed in the middle of the
42.
night.
We're only on 39 and we got 4 more episodes. Here you go.
Bang.
Shake.
Okay, cool. So before we play our game real fast, we're gonna come back and play a game. But Liz, do you have anything you want to pitch or anything that you're working on currently?
Well, since I'm moving, everything is just chaos. It's almost like my life is Shao Gall. Friendship and chaos. But I will be starting I'll be in the Fabled Femmes game on, I believe, the 15th. Somewhere. I'm just
I'll
gonna look
post it.
over
I never remember the dates. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm also in that one. Are you bringing back your character?
Oh, my Lunaria, not Lunaria, as Solo said one time. I was like, that checks. When you have too much Taco Bell, you get Lunaria.
Oh my god. I have too many names in my head.
Names are hard.
I might bring her back. I'm not sure. I like being able to try different characters. I'm actually Lunaria was fun because I don't normally do like more serious characters or like not. Hey, look, it's a woodland creature coming up to me, but it's in clothes and it's very strange. So it's kind of fun to do, more human-y, ish creatures that aren't just like constant comic relief. Gloomstalker was fun. It's just shooty McPew Pew everything. But aside from that game, I will be actually starting up a alien RPG game with initiative order, which is cool. I will be the squad leader, Vic Creed, and it's a horror RPG. So it's gonna be scary.
Is it the Modifius one?
I can't remember. It's Delta Squadron. It's the new one that hasn't quite come out.
Okay.
I just unplugged my lamp with my foot. It's better. It's better.
I was just wondering because I've looked at that one. I've been looking at some of their systems, and Alien caught my attention, and then something caught my attention, and then I saw that post on your Insta, and I was like, ooh,
I'm very excited
to watch. Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, I might
Fable Femmes is on the 15th.
Yay, 15th. Excellent.
We knew that.
Yes. But yes, that's going to be actually this will probably answer your question. It's going to be, I think I need 24 D6 for anxiety. It's like the anxiety or stress and then fear or something. So that should be great. I scream sometimes. So I'm going to be like, I'm a tough squad leader. And I'll be like, So
I'm here for that. That sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah, I gotta keep it together, Liz. So
well, awesome. I want to thank you for joining tonight. Give us just a second. We're gonna be back. We're gonna play a little game with our guests, and I'll rope Taryn into joining us as well. So give us just a second. Oh, okay.
Are you ready for bed?
I think you found a new industry, Eric.
I think I will talk to you for some voice recordings for the.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wow.
The
Developments.
Good evening. How was your day, baby?
You would not believe it.
Oh, tell me all about it.
Oh my god. Okay.
This is some Blade Runner shit right here. That's what this is.
I made
No,
you
it's a
chicken
pillow.
nuggies. Chicken nuggies.
Okay. On that note, I don't even know what that was. We are going to play a game. I think we're going to play Two Truths and a Lie.
Oh, dear.
Oh, boy.
We'll just sort of round robin it in the order in which you guys appeared. So basically, unless I don't know why you wouldn't know how this works, but basically you're going to tell us two truths. We're going to have to guess, or two truths and a lie. We're going to have to guess which one is a lie. We'll hear all of your story, and then we'll sort of converse amongst each other and amongst the chat, and we'll come to some sort of consensus and guess, and then you'll tell us if we're right or wrong. So Eric, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Wow.
Take your time. I don't give a shit.
I do voice recordings for pillows.
Well, yes, that's my sole focus right now. I can't think of anything else but making, good evening, baby.
Business ventures.
Yes, that's all I'm thinking about now. Okay. I have at one time on one day, I had a film playing on two different screens in one theater.
Okay.
I have never ridden a bike.
Okay.
And I have done, an audiobook?
I wonder what's the lie.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that was not very good.
Well, I don't know, because sometimes it's about the context. So there's the first one was that you had two different films playing on two different screens. Is that what's okay?
At the same theater.
At the same theater.
I've never ridden a bike.
Never ridden a bike, and you do audiobooks.
And I did an audiobook.
Okay. Oh no, but okay. What's your thoughts, Liz?
Okay, well, I'm not going to Google this at all. My hands are here. My hands are here. So, the audiobook one was said, this is just me. It's like, hey, Bixby, go look up. No, okay. The audiobook one was said with a question mark. So it immediately makes me suspicious of the audiobook, even though you are a voice person. So
yeah,
you might be the Viking of voice, but I don't know if you're the Viking of literature.
It's true. But does this, I don't know.
But technically, aren't those...
I feel like they are. But even if they aren't, maybe
I feel like the bike is a lie.
The bike seems to be calling to me.
But it could also be
calling
so
to you
out
in
there.
what way, though?
But it could also be so out there that it's true.
Could be.
It's true.
It's not out there because if it's not being ridden, then the bike isn't going anywhere inside. So.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, I give. I'm
go.
gonna say the audiobook.
Okay, ridden a bike, agreed. Okay, so the chat. I'm gonna go with chat. I'm gonna say ridden a bike. That you've never ridden that the lie is that you've never ridden a bike. That you, in fact, you have ridden a bike at some point.
That is true. That you are correct to me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I have obviously ridden a bike. Yes, many times.
Yay!
Well, the reason it gave me pause is I'm like, well, no adult, whatever. But my wife is never.
Well, I thought you could be stumped by the fact that everybody knows me for voiceover, and I've actually had two films going on the same.
Well,
day.
I just thought I thought about that, but then I was like, well, if you voiced something in a couple films, maybe they were just happened to show at the same time. I didn't.
That's true too.
I don't know. I didn't. Yeah, that one seemed crazy enough to be true.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, this guy's this guy's got a career, so it's
I
fine.
was just like in my head. I was like, well, that
Guy's
one
an adult
obviously
with a job.
happened. Was like how I felt.
He
Actually, that's
seems
true.
employed.
I was
That's
terrible.
the craziest
at that. I'm
one, and I was
sorry.
like, of course that happened. Like, I don't know why.
Of course.
Okay, all right. Liz, you're next up.
Oh shit, is it me? Oh god.
Yep.
Okay, so I was
Yep.
thinking about this.
It's
one.
you. It's you. It's you.
Not now, body pillow.
Oh, darling, I'll be here when you're done.
Fully voiced body pillows. You heard it here first.
Let's see.
If only I had hands to massage you.
Buy now the adapters that come with the pillow. Only $29.99.
I really think we're onto something here. Hold on a second.
The adapters. Okay, cool.
Your ingenuity.
Not mage hand, but
But they are magical.
This is not the game, Ronan.
Sorry. All right. 2 truths and
Okay.
a lie.
okay. I'm trying to think of a lie.
Liar.
Busted.
Well, while you're thinking of the lie, chat recommended Bluetooth.
Bluetooth body pillow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You have to have Bluetooth integration as well as personal assistant integration.
I just had another joke, but I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Yes,
It's a two-telling.
that body pillow is a personal assistant.
That's right.
Assist me, assistant.
Oh God.
Okay.
This is my show, guys.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, what am I gonna do there? Hold on. Okay. I'm trying to think of things. Okay.
Karen, be thinking.
Okay. My car got hit in a rock slide in Big Sur.
Big Sur being a town.
Oh,
You've
a
not
Big
heard-
Sur is a
Oh yeah,
cliff,
that's funny.
cliff town. It's a very terrifying.
It's
cliff
along
town.
Highway 1. It's right on the coast of California.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It is. It's like middle. It's like kind of by San Francisco. Beautiful
Got it.
for camping.
It's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
My car got hit in a rock slide and pretty much got totaled. The second one is I was on a TLC show for tattoos. And the third is I'm thinking, okay. I'm
Of a lie?
thinking, okay.
Of a lie.
I don't know because it could be
No.
a third. It could be a second truth if she doesn't have ready.
The
I think
third
about this
one,
stuff way too much.
I know. I'm just like, so I've ADD, so I'm just like, here's 1,000 things in your head at once. Pick one. I'm like, there's so many though. The third is going to be
She died in Wonka.
I
Play a
did
possum
die.
on a regular basis.
I did die.
There was too many candies.
The third is I once traveled. No, that's stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid. I was a dog trainer for 3.5 years.
Okay. That doesn't strike me as a lie.
I'm torn between Big Sur and the dog trainer.
I have now
As the
completely
lie?
forgotten. I've
Mhm.
forgotten what the second one was.
The TLC
Oh, the
show
TLC
where she
tattoo
was
show. Yeah.
tattooed.
For tattoos.
Or for tattoos, yeah.
Or
But see, here's
But
how
wait,
I
no,
think about
was
this
it-
crap.
because
Here's how I think about this thing. It's like, oh,
I know
okay,
things, but now I'm like, was
TLC,
it that show?
but it may be a show that she was on for tattoos, but it may not have been on TLC. Like that's how I think about this crap.
That might be accurate.
Uh,
I'm trying to remember actually that specific tale because I know
Um,
which tattoo.
No, no one knows.
Because I think somewhere I heard you talked about it, and so I was
Mhm.
like, oh,
Okay.
but I have a horrible memory.
Rock
this is
Slide
what I'm
sounds
counting on.
legit. It is a cliff town, so that seems plausible.
Big Sur is I do believe that happens. I don't know if it. Yeah, I'm gonna
go with the tattoo.
say I don't know if it was a TLC show.
That's both of you are saying the same thing.
I
Yeah.
just don't know that it was a TLC show.
Or was she actually not a dog trainer?
Oh crap.
I'm just chat. What do you chat?
Ferric says that
TLC.
The TLC tattoo show is a lie.
That's Ferric's, yeah. I'm gonna
go tattoo.
I'm gonna say the TLC, yeah.
Final answer.
For now.
Final answer.
Until you tell me the truth.
Okay. Should I tell you the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
That show will haunt me for the rest of my life. Okay.
Yeah. It was TLC. It was
TLC. It wasn't.
Okay.
So this is where everyone's going to look up the videos, probably.
100%.
But I was on America's Worst Tattoos.
Oh.
I was a tattoo artist. Obviously, everyone can see I have a lot of unfinished work. So the comments in the videos are very mean. So
Yeah.
just a warning there.
Sure.
But so I used to be a tattoo artist, and like I wanted to be a tattoo artist since since I was 15 actually, and then I started my apprenticeship. But like you let people practice on you. That's kind of what it is. Like a lot of tattoo artists have a lot of cover-up work because of that reason. So I had Steve Buscemi on my ankle. It is Buscemi. A lot of people gave me shit for saying Buscemi, even the showrunners, and then even the actor was like, it's Buscemi. There's no H. And Tom Hanks was also like that. But yeah, so all y'all pronounce Buscemi, and you should feel bad. But yeah, I had Steve on my ankle because I had a coworker that wanted to practice his tattoos, and I wanted Frida Kahlo, and then he pretty much harassed me for like 3 hours while I was working until I said yes, and then he quit. So on my last event as a tattoo artist, I saw their booth and I interviewed, and I got brought on the show and a free tattoo out of it, and endless people just message me. It's on Hulu now, so they're like,
oh my god.
I'm like, wow, it's been 10 years and it's still not ending.
Yeah, for sure.
Jesus.
And then
what I'm fascinated by is there's a lot of people with Steve Buscemi tattoos.
I'm the first result. If you type in Steve Buscemi tattoo, I'm the first result.
Oh, jeez.
One of the reasons why I said yes is no one else had that at the time.
Right.
It's a shitty caricature, by the way.
This is before he was a meme.
Is that the one with the red eyes?
Maybe.
He's like, I don't fucking look at it anymore.
It's been, well, no, I have now. It's covered up with a mermaid, but I have to tattoo.
I'm just shocked at how many people.
Yeah, it's the one with the TLC. It's the one with the TLC logo. Should be first result.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so that's true.
Okay.
So you were not a dog trainer?
No, I was actually.
So it was the car?
I was in a rock slide, but my car, I dodged actual falling rocks with my car, and I had to drive over actual mudslide. Like I almost died that day.
Oh my gosh.
And during that stretch of highway, there's no reception or anything. So, and there was tow trucks just having to tow people because people were running out of gas because it's like 80 miles of no reception and then no gas stations and stuff.
Right.
So I drove 40 miles down, realized there was a sequoia tree blocking the road and the road was closed. I had to turn back and go another 40 miles back through active landslides. I have never consumed so much nicotine in my life after an experience and then just been like, I don't vape anymore, but you're
too good at this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I don't blame you. That was good.
For sure.
Yeah, but my car did not get hit. Just my power steering was screwed.
Sure. All right, Taryn, you're up.
Okay. My life is depressing, so I'm not pulling from all of the depressing things that is my life. I often make jokes that my life is a tragic comedy. So we're gonna leave all of the depressing baggage tucked away at the back of the mind and instead look at practical things. Like I'm super kind of OCD, and I had to have a certain number of piercings, and so I have 12 piercings exactly. That's one of them.
Okay, 12 piercings.
Yep. I actually spent time in South Dakota for 3 weeks on a paleontological expedition, is one of them.
Okay.
And my third one is that I have almost drowned twice in my life.
Okay. Numbers. It could be 3.
Could be. It could be one.
Okay, the I know the paleontology thing is probable because she went to school for geology.
She said the thing right, the really long word correctly. So.
Yeah, that's true. She said
The
that's
really
true. I
long
can't even
word
say
correct.
it. I'm gonna say that one's true. Plus South Dakota. Why else would you go there?
Unless it's North Dakota.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because there's actually a really great site up there too.
See,
It's where you actually look for Jurassic fossils.
Jurassic dough.
12 seems like a low number for some reason. I don't know why. 12 piercings seems low.
Wait, was it you currently have 12 piercings?
Mm-hmm.
It seems low.
I have
like
questions.
that's like 6 per ear, right?
Yeah.
Me leaning, trying to.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Like that's all. I mean, that if you had 4 or 5 on your ear, then that doesn't. Anyway, no. I think
you can easily rack up 8 with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say it's the piercings because I think there's more than 12. Although now I want to hear about the drowning stories if those are true.
Well,
I mean, I
Eric?
believe those are true.
Oh, I'll go with whatever Ronan says.
Okay, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
Piercings total. There are more scheduled because I am super OCD. It needs to stay at an even number. No, the lie. I actually did spend a few weeks in a paleontological digs, and I have undergrad research in environmental paleontology. But the lie is that I've actually almost drowned 5 times.
Oh my God.
What the?
Taryn, no, you get floaties from now on.
Is this you never learned to swim?
No, this was before the age of, okay, so the first time I almost drowned, I was 2. The second time I almost drowned, I was 4, and they had me in kiddie swimming lessons. The third time I almost drowned was at Texas Tech in Lubbock, also at swimming lessons. I sunk to the bottom of the pool. The fourth time was also in swimming lessons 2 months later.
God.
Damn those lead underwear.
Your parents should stop paying for swimming lessons.
It was my grandmother. It was my grandmother.
Serious buoyancy issue here.
And then, see, that's 4. Oh, it was 6 times. Because then this other time, so the other time I was inner tubing. If you're in Texas, tubing is a really big thing. You get a big inner tube and you float down rivers for hours. Well, I got pulled up out of my tube and got pulled to the bottom of the river and drug for a good feet, and then finally come up, saw a catfish bigger than me. It was real cool. And then the last time, and I almost forgot about this, I was in a lake in Pettigene State Park, and I was kayaking, and a storm started rolling in out of nowhere, and my kayak flipped. And then I got flipped back up. Water is not my friend. That's why water is not my friend, you guys.
Yeah.
You are a cat.
Apparently.
I'm a cat.
You are a cat.
Okay.
April had to, of course, shout tubing because she's from Texas.
Yes. Tubing's a lot of fun.
Never go to Lake Powell. It is literally the deepest lake in the U.S., I believe.
I have thalassophobia now. I have a fear of deep water.
Oh yeah, me too. Like, so my mom sent me pictures, and it's like, here's a shot under the water, and it's super clear, but it's dark as hell.
Those are real twitches, by the way.
It's terrifying. No, I can't. Like, as soon as I go in water, not to distract from you drowning a bajillion times. Oh my goodness. If I go in water that like is waist deep, anything further than waist deep that I can't see, it's fear.
Yeah.
So
no,
we've all seen too many movies.
I don't go. I've studied
Active
too much. I know what's in the water. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's my problem. I know what's in there. I was in biology. No, thank you.
I'm just an artist and I make monsters. So
yeah,
I'm just like, no, not like this bear skeleton octopus creature.
I've never gone deeper than ankle deep into an ocean. So
yeah, I don't like going. Oceans are not like I don't have a fear of deep water, but for some reason oceans are just not my thing. So
none of it. No, it's not my friend.
Just wait till you go scuba diving and you can't.
Oh, I'm never going scuba diving ever.
I did go snorkeling in Hawaii and had an anxiety attack for like the first 5 minutes and was like having an anxiety attack in like a snorkel tube, which is fun. But I was like, it's so beautiful, but like and then
Solo,
everything
do you
was
want to go?
What am I doing?
You want to do 2 truths and a lie?
Oh shit. Sure.
Okay.
I'm not ready.
He's just trying
Well,
to.
while
You know
you
what?
do
Let's
that real
while you
fast-
do
That's a
that, let's
lie.
make Ronan.
I'll
yeah.
go, but I want to answer Chills' question.
Oh,
he had a
okay,
question
yeah.
for Cookie that I forgot to answer. So his question to me was Cookie, what was Cookie's first thought when turning the corner and seeing 2 of the girl characters hugging / having an emotional moment? So a little bit of spoiler, I guess, for Cookie is that, and I won't get into the reasons why because it'll probably come out in the show, but currently he blames himself for all of the things that have happened at the school so far. So the Trayvonis thing, the Thegan thing, the Ascension hoopla, and then the move to Greyhawk, all of that he puts squarely on his shoulders. So he tries to remain happy, and he really wanted to help Lily through her sort of hardships and things like that. But then when he was told to go get the stuff and came back and 2 characters were having an emotional moment, he felt guilty again and decided to sort of skip out on the girls' night as opposed to bringing more drama and trauma to them on his part. So he decided to peace out and do things a little different. That's why he was that's why he was like sent the care package later to everybody. So that's the reason why. And I did drop just another little thing that nobody asked. I did drop a hint about his book and sort of some secrets with his book that he carries around everywhere. So but that is to answer that question. So yeah, he's a happy person, and he is 100,000% not evil, but he's got some stuff going on. Okay, Solo, you ready, or you want me to go?
I mean, I'm ready, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, writing other stuff down. So, okay, 2 truths and a lie. I haven't done this in 20-something years.
Yeah.
I run a 4.440 yard dash.
Okay, that's fast.
Currently,
I have skydived.
Historically?
Okay.
And I was accepted to the first season of Tough Enough for the World Wrestling.
What? I hope that's true. Okay.
I'm not to be this person, Solo, but I believe that maybe once upon a time the 440, but I don't know.
Yeah. What are the stipulations with the 440?
Is that correct?
Is this current or is this?
COVID has been a bitch, y'all. I don't trust
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
anybody's
say, like,
still that
at
in
one
shape.
time I would
except
buy
for
it.
Alicia Marie. She's
I can't even-
she's unchanging.
Well, we'll say the last time you ran a 440. So was that was or a 440? Was that the last time you ran one?
The last time I was clocked.
Okay. All right. So that.
Oh,
Okay.
this is
all right.
pre-COVID, potentially.
Are you kidding? I get clocked every morning. No.
I don't
okay,
blame
so
you with
that,
the jokes you make. Continue.
So shut up. That one sounds true. That one could totally be feasible. I know he was a wide receiver in high school football, so that seems
I was also a
logical.
semi-professional football player too.
Yes.
Didn't
That's
know
why I'm like,
Yeah, I played for the Virginia Thunder.
And then I want to believe the Tough Enough one's true. So I'm going to go that he has never skydived before.
Skydiving's terrifying.
I think skydiving's terrifying, but I vaguely remember him mentioning.
I was gonna say, like, in Army and Navy, at some point you've probably been thrown out of a fucking plane.
Oh.
Does that mean we're going to have to go with the Tough Enough one?
I think it's.
Oh, yeah, I know Ronan's just super sad.
Fine,
I'm gonna
whatever.
stick with my. I don't know.
Oh, maybe he was accepted to the second season. Maybe it's one of those tricks.
Okay, Cookie. You know what, Cookie?
There's still
Yes,
hope. There's
maybe.
still hope for
Still
you,
hope.
Ronan.
Okay, so we'll go with the Tough Enough is the lie.
Okay, so the lie is the 440. I was clocked 6 months ago, and I ran a 4.6, which is still pretty good because I'm a
That's
fat ass.
really good. That's really
okay.
fast.
I could only do it once, and then I was done.
Sure.
But
Sure.
I was
mean,
I
that's
was
still-
wheezing. I was wheezing on the ground.
It's look, I go to the end of my street and I'm just like, send help.
But when I played semi-pro football in Virginia, I did run a 4.40. I was one of 2 white guys in the entire league, and my nickname was Gray, because I was faster than everybody else, but I was a skinny little white guy. I was accepted to the first season of Tough Enough, the one that had Maven in it when he won, but I was in the Navy and they wouldn't let me go.
Ah, that's
Ooh,
cool. Yeah.
And there's a video of me skydiving on Facebook.
Oh,
I was gonna say I remembered him saying that it was like skydiving was
logical.
terrifying but worth it.
It was.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It was. Well, the whole scenario was there was a couple from India there on their honeymoon, and when you go on those planes, because you're tandem jumping because you've never jumped before, you sign a waiver saying that you have to jump because they will not land with you. There are no seat belts.
Oh yeah.
They cannot land with you. Yeah.
They just dive.
Oh.
So the husband, the newly husband, went out first, and the wife lost her shit. Where everyone, I was laughing so hard I was crying because she was like, I'm not going. And then she went, and then I'm laughing. And then we get to the door, and the guy who was going to record it jumped out first, and the guy who was holding me had like put his hand on my forehead, and he was like, don't look down. And of course you look down. I was like, "Ugh!"
Sure.
And it was intense. It was a blast. Sure. The hardest part was when the chute went up and we were going in circles trying to get to the spot because like the teacups make me yak. So yeah, that was hard. But it was
Would
fun.
you say because of the parachute looking I'm sorry. It was in sky tents?
Oh jeez.
Instead of just in tents, but in sky tents.
It was
that considered yoga humor? Stretching that far to
Wow.
I love it. But it was during when it was for my 30th birthday, so it was 10 years ago. And we were in Hawaii because that's where I was stationed. So it was over the North Shore, which was amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
I
cool.
did it.
Yeah.
I did it in Northern California.
But if I would have died and fell into the water, I would have been eaten by sharks. So that's fun.
There's
Awesome.
actually very little sharks there, by the way.
Yeah, I do know that.
Oh.
Actually,
All
no. Actually, I was going to go on a shark diving expedition.
There are certain kinds, but
there
it's
are
certain
sharks.
parts.
There's sharks out like off of Maui at the end of the Seven Sacred Pools.
Oh, this is Oahu.
Mm.
We're talking about North Shore.
there are sharks over North Shore because they do the shark cages, so they've been luring them there. But
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is-
No, it's
You
fine.
know, you know what prevents all of that though? Not skydiving and not
That's
getting in
true.
the ocean, and it's crazy. You're fine, and you don't have to worry about it getting
true.
eaten by sharks.
well, the whole point was like when I went skydiving, I didn't know I was going. It was like a surprise for my birthday, and
hell
my
no.
son,
okay.
who's 22
stab
now, he
someone.
was like 16. I was like, no, I ain't getting out of the car. What are you talking about? I'm like, nope, not getting out of the car. And I sat in the car and pouted for like 30 minutes. And then I was like, I can't be a punk in front of my son. I was like, son of a bitch. So then I went.
That's true.
And I wore a Papa Smurf
Literally.
t-shirt, which was cool. It said, call me Big Papa. So there's
Oh my
there's
God.
that.
Oh my
No, I'm a
goodness.
land mammal. My feet belong on the ground, not in the
That's
water,
true.
and not in the sky. I am a land mammal.
100%.
Cat.
Unless your leg goes
Yes.
up to clean. Never mind.
Oh god.
Wow.
Okay, I will go now.
All right.
All right.
Someone
okay,
just
so-
got thrown out of the Olive Garden.
Not a plane, but the Olive Garden.
Okay, so here they are. Okay. In college, I only ever went to gay bars and was brought up on stage during a drag show to be displayed as a sex symbol.
Picks up.
Yeah,
And
you're.
I have
Damn
a half sister as old as my mother. And I graduated college magna cum laude.
The first one is a lie.
I'm going to go with the last one being a lie.
My reasoning is because Ronan didn't get his bod until recently, I believe.
That's true. But
The second one I believe.
I feel like
that's the easiest one to believe.
yeah. I feel
Well,
like
I know how old your father is.
Oh, that's true. You did.
Uh-huh.
I feel like the third one, I feel like it might have been something like a different yeah.
Yeah, not
exactly.
magna, but like summa cum laude.
I never went to college, so I'm just
I don't know what any of that means.
One of them is like a perfect 4-point, and the other one's like almost. One of
Oh,
them's like A, and one's
Porn
like
that you
A.
just come louder than anybody.
Body pillow, no.
Oh, body pillow.
Not like this.
He's synced from Pornhub now.
I didn't pay for this service.
Turn off recommendations.
Jesus.
Open incognito mode. God.
Sorry.
This
is why I'm not on this show very often.
For some reason, I just don't.
Make noise? I'm sorry, what?
That's a cat thing. Cats make noise.
I don't know that. I'm trying to, because like you and your wife have been together since forever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to see if she would be the kind of person to, like, the reason I say that is like, I feel like you would have been dragged along. And I'm trying to
the gay bar, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like, and I'm trying to decide if that would be where your wife would go, not so much you.
I don't know. What's the answer?
I think you're probably summa cum laude and not magna cum laude, but I don't know when you went to college.
Yes. That.
I'm leaning first one, but I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay. So the first one, the gay bar. So me and my wife, obviously went through college roughly the same time. We had good friends of ours that were in an interracial relationship, and we're in West Virginia. So we always went to the gay bar because there's no judgment there. You can have fun and you can chill, and it's the best place to go. And so that first one is true. I was actually brought up on stage at a trade show and showed off. Yeah.
That's so friggin' funny.
It was actually
want to hear your wife's side of this, but yeah.
I know, we need to have a good
time. Of course, you thought it was a good time. You were being worshipped.
We need a Ronin biography, like Fawks Talks a lot show.
That's true. Yes.
Fawks Talks all day. So
my dad is almost 80, and I do have a half sister as old as my mother. And I've been an uncle since before I was born, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And so yes, the last one is right, and Taryn was correct. But there is a funny story so I did graduate summa cum laude, but here's how much of a moron I actually am. So summa cum laude means with highest honor, so that's the highest you can get. But the funny story is I didn't know that while I graduated. So when they announced me as summa cum laude, I was so pissed because I thought I should have graduated magna cum laude, and I only realized after graduation that one was better than the other. So yeah, that's my dumbass story.
Perception is everything.
Yeah,
did you have to make a speech?
No, luckily I did not, because I would have been super salty.
Like for these no bitches.
Yeah. They should have known I was worse than this. But no, so but that's it. All right, so that was a lot of fun. I want to thank you guys again for coming on. Let's do a quick where can everybody find you thing. We'll start with Erik. Just give socials or where everybody can find you at.
At Erik Braa or at ERockVO.
Oh, perfect. And Liz?
At Lizzifer, like LIZZUFER. Twitch, Twitter I never do, but Instagram I am pretty active, so.
Perfect.
Oh, chat wants to know, Ronan, what was the degree?
Undergrad degree was double degree biology and chemistry.
Yeah.
The smarts.
And how much of that are you using today?
0%.
Doesn't your day job kind of...
Instead, he sits in front of fake wood.
Yep.
It's JPEG wood, okay?
Science degrees,
Mom,
okay?
I've made it. So, Taryn, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and soon Ko-Fi and other places at Valrook, VALROUK. I will be selling dice soon, my dudes. Check it out, y'all.
Dope.
They're cool.
Solo is only ever here, and
yeah.
I am at Ronan Fawks. You can find me at Ronan Fawks on Instagram and sometimes Twitter.
Actually, that's not true.
Do we have a code?
That's actually not true. I'm doing something with Lawful Stupid RPG. We're getting ready to gear out. I don't know how much I can talk about it, but we're getting ready to do a Dragonlance podcast.
Ooh.
It's a podcast. Oh, it's a show.
It's a
podcast.
Just
form.
a podcast show. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
That way we don't have to see Solo.
That's right. So it's instantly better.
I mean, that's not true. But
is there?
You only have to hear him.
Exclamation point wizards.
exclamation point. God, I don't know why that took me so long to say. Wizards in the chat for the Between Show giveaway. Shut up, Taryn. I know what you're
Science degree. You guys say exclamation.
Whatever.
Chemistry.
Hey guys, it's chemistry and biology.
I'm just
Oh my
ending the
God,
show
you
now.
guys!
I hate everybody here. Have a good
Hey,
night.
come louder!
Body kill, no!
Oh my God, you guys, it's wizards.
It's wizards again. Yeah.
Super awesome.
I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just letting
Yeah.
God, end
Everybody
it.
harass.
Please.
Don't end it. It's
End
just
it.
your back.